What's up, guys? Mighty Moose. I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different today. This is the PSA Dagger. And put about 1,000 rounds through this a couple days ago. And I have some thoughts on it. It's pretty sweet. This is the full-sized. Obviously, it has the optics cut, suppressor height sights, threaded barrel with a compound there, which I've been enjoying. Red dot, TLR1, light. And I'm seriously impressed. I've never been a Glock guy. I've never liked Glocks. I previously ran a M&P 2.0 and then have since started to switch over to SIG. And never really was interested in Glocks, but I saw this and honestly, I just thought it looked really cool. And that's the main reason why I tried it out. But given a few things, I think we're going to see even more daggers get into the market. And I think we're actually going to start to see the decline of Glocks. And the biggest reason, honestly, is price. This entire set costs less than many Glocks. Now, let's subtract the light and the optic, because obviously they are, the big variables in this. Neither of these are excessively expensive. I believe this red dot, this is a Vector Optics, pretty cheap red dot that came with it. But it is a good dot from the experiences I've had. It is a shake awake, and it works well. Stream light, a decent light. I had a couple points that I thought of after I finished filming that video that I wanted to come in here, so I'm just sticking them in here. So apologies for the rude interruption. There are a couple small things that I don't like about the dagger that I want to point out. The mag release sucks, at least on this one. You can push it with your thumb, but coming from any other handgun that I've shot, most of them you can hit it and be confident it's going to come out. This one, it is so, you have to push it in so far and it sticks out so little. I have pretty decently sized hands. And even for me, it's a bit of a strain. It's not just a natural little push of my thumb. I have to reposition my hand to get a better push with my thumb there. That's something I really don't like about the dagger. So I have an aftermarket one sitting over there that I'm going to install, but that's one thing that I wish PSA would adjust. One other quick thing about reliability. Like I said, I've only seen this run through about 1,000 rounds personally. But I know a lot of people shout from the rooftops about Glock reliability. I've seen my fair amount of issues with Glock. Not me personally, as I've never owned a Glock. But in different trainings that I've been in, I have seen lots of people, I shouldn't say lots of people, I have seen several people have issues with their Glocks over the course of a week-long training. You could say that it was user error, perhaps. They were limp wristing the weapon or something like that. I don't know. I was not the one shooting the Glock, but I did see Glocks malfunction and have issues during the course of a week-long class. So I don't think Glocks are quite as infallible as many people say they are, which I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate in the comments. But the fact is, even Glocks are not perfect. And I would be very curious to see a long-run torture test of the dagger versus a Glock. I'm sure that there's one out there. If anybody knows of anybody that's made a really good one, I would really love it if you would throw that in the comments, and I will pin it, and then people can look at it. But those are the two things that I wanted to say real quick. Magazine release kind of sucks. I really don't like it. I have to reposition my hand to get to it. And Glocks aren't perfectly reliable either. Anyway, back to the video. But you can get a baseline dagger for a fraction of the cost of a Glock. I recently got one of their lowers, dagger lowers, for $35. It was a blem. It was on sale, so obviously that's definitely on the lowest end of things, but you can still get their lowers for incredibly cheap, and they frequently have sales like that. You can also get a complete upper for right around 240 bucks, probably closer to 260, 270 after tax and shipping, and that typically is one that is optics cut, that does have suppressor height sights, and that already has a threaded barrel. Now, if you want like a pure carry gun, you can get one that does not have these fancy slide serrations, that does not have a threaded barrel, and that does not have an optics cut or suppressor height sights. But these features are standard for most of their slides. And I think this is one of the big things that sets them apart from a Glock. By the time, guys have finished working on their Gucci Glocks, you typically have spent well north of $1,000, especially if you're going to be replacing your plastic sights with something else. These come standard as steel. If you're going to go get your slide cut, if you're going to get anything done on the front end, get some serrations put there, you're going to have to upgrade your barrel to get a threaded barrel. If you want, a more aggressive stippling on the grip. This is aftermarket grip tape, by the way, just as a note. I do want to point that out. But so many things that people will go and pour money into on a Glock above and beyond the Glock price that just come with a dagger for ridiculously cheap. Like the other one that I'm building where I got the lower on sale, I will be into that less than $300 out the door. So the other big thing, reliability. I've put about 1,000 rounds through this. That's not a lot of rounds. It really isn't. But based off of that and based off of other things that I've been seeing, these are very reliable. Obviously, I'm going to continue to run with this. I'm going to continue to train with this and use it, put many more thousands of rounds through it is my plan. But I think that these can be incredibly reliable. Certainly reliable enough for a civilian to trust. And I think that's a killer combination. You have all of the features that people want to put on their Glocks aftermarket that come as standard. It's a fraction of the cost of a Glock, and they are reliable. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a Glock clone, and you're using the same stuff that Glock is typically using. So I think that it's a fabulous package. And if you are on the fence about it, for the price, you can go pick one of these up and just go plink with it. And they're great guns. They come with really good triggers. Just go ahead and ghost that trigger for you. Got your uptake. Got your brake. And then I've heard some people say it doesn't have a good reset. That is not my experience. There's your reset. But really happy with the trigger on this. I wouldn't say it's match grade by any means, but I think it's better than a stock Glock trigger. Yeah, let me show you my finger there. There's your reset. Reset right there. There you go. So I'm very happy with it. I'm a big fan, and I'm a big fan of PSA just in general. I think that they make good products, an incredible price, and that they probably do more to spread the Second Amendment than any other company out there. And the fact that they can deliver this at such a good price and for it to be a reliable weapon, I think is flat out impressive. And that's why I think that the Dagger is going to continue to grow and do extremely well. The biggest thing that I wish we could get for the Dagger is a better subgun style chassis, something like the Flex Raider. Palmetto does have their own chassis system, but it's like $300 or $400, and it's basically like the Macaroni, I believe, very similar. And I'm personally not a fan. But if we could get one that works better, basically like a Legion clone or a Flux clone, I think that'd be sick. But let me know your thoughts. What do you want to know about the Dagger series? What do you want to see in this or out of a compact build? And what do you think of the Dagger? Do you think it's reliable enough? If you have one, have you had issues with it? I'd be very curious to know. So thank you very much.